Hello everyone. Today let's take a look at the formal letter, which is a very important part of the English language paper at the ICSE examination. Candidates will have to write a letter from a choice of two subjects requiring either a formal or an informal mode of treatment. Suggestions regarding the content of the letter may be given. So, what is a formal letter? A formal letter is an official letter written to a person in his official capacity or written to a firm. Now, this is as opposed to the friendly letter, which you write to friends and family. Who do we write these letters to? For standard 9 and 10 students following the ICSE curriculum, the context will be within the plausible experience of the child, of the examinee, that is you who are about 15 or 16 years old. Therefore, these letters can be for you to write to the principal of your school, the principals of other schools, government officials such as the police commissioner, the municipal commissioner. Then we have heads of local self-governments, panchayats, heads of hospitals, restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, etc. within the plausible experience of a 15 or 16-year-old child. Now let's look at the marking scheme for the formal letter. The letter carries 10 marks in full, which is divided into 3 parts: format, content and expressions. For the format, you are awarded 3 marks, content 2 marks and expressions 5 marks. Later in the presentation, we will look at all these 3 components separately. First, let's deal with the format of a formal letter. To begin with, you have to write the sender's authentic address, for which you will be awarded half a mark. I say authentic because it should be realistic and not unrealistic, such as supposing you stay in Patna or Delhi and you write Baker Street. It sounds a bit unrealistic. So stick to your authentic address. The address should be written close to the left-hand side margin. 15 Himadri Apartments, Patliputra Colony, Patna. Look at the punctuation marks and take very careful note of it. Comma, comma, full stop. Follow that order. Comma, comma, full stop. Next, you must learn how to write the date, for which you will be awarded half a mark. Take a look at the date in the presentation. 12th May 2020. Do not use just any style of writing the date. Use the style as in this presentation. To repeat, 12th May, 2020. Remember, the month in the date should be written in full. No short forms. For example, Jan, Feb. And you will not be awarded marks if the year is not written. Next, on the same side as the sender's address and after the date, you must write the receiver's address, for which you will be awarded half a mark. This also should be close to the left-hand side margin. First, you write the post, the designation. Here it is the chairman. Then you write his office, Patna Municipal Corporation. Then the street, Budh Marg, and of course followed by the district, Patna. So this is the receiver's address. The chairman, Patna Municipal Corporation, Budh Marg, Patna. Take a look at the punctuations once again. Comma, 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 full stop. Comma, 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 full stop. Another important aspect of letter writing is the salutation. And in the formal letter, for the salutation, you are awarded half a mark. And it is written as in the presentation. Dear sir, if it's a man, or dear madam, if it's a woman, a male or a female. Note, it is incorrect to write both dear sir and madam. After the salutation comes the body of the letter, which we will deal with after we finish with this part of the format. The last part of the format is where you put down the subscription, for which you will get 1 mark. The subscription is as in the presentation, a 3-line subscription thanking you, yours faithfully, Amit Kumar, the writer. Thanking you, yours faithfully, Amit Kumar. Remember, a surname has to be written in the formal letter. If no surname is mentioned, no mark will be awarded. However, while writing the subscription, remember not to write yours sincerely or yours truly. Only write yours faithfully. Yours sincerely is used only when a person is addressed by name. For example, if in the salutation you have Dear Mrs. Jha or Dear Mr. Jha. Though in ICSE we don't need to worry about this because we won't be using these. We will be using yours faithfully. So that's the layout, the format of the formal letter as it would look when you write the full letter. 15 Himadri Apartments, Patliputra Colony, Patna, that's the sender's address. It should be authentic and you will be awarded half a mark for it. Then comes the date for which you will be awarded half a mark, 12th May 2020. Followed by the receiver's address, again for half a mark, the chairman, Patna Municipal Corporation, Budhmarg, Patna. Then comes the salutation, Dear Sir, or if it's a lady, Dear Madam. But remember, don't write both Dear Sir as well as Madam. And for this, you get half a mark. Then I told you the body of the letter where you have the opening sentences, the closing sentences, the content, etc., which we will look at a little later. And finally, the subscription. Thanking you, yours faithfully, Amit Kumar. Remember, a surname has to be written. No surname, no marks. Then comes the content of the letter, and that carries 2 marks. Now, how do we get these 2 marks? You have to mention 2 issues or 2 complaints according to the topic of the letter. And for each issue, for each complaint, you pick up half a mark, which goes into the content section. For example, if your topic is menace of hawkers outside your school and what dangers they pose, then the 2 issues or the 2 complaints that you may have: 1, the hawkers sell open food which is very unhygienic, and the other is school students cluster around, the lane in front of our school gets blocked, dirty and congested. These could be your 2 issues, these could be your 2 complaints for which you want some kind of correction from the person to whom you are writing. So for both these points, of course, you have to write it in full sentences, proper sentences. You pick up half a mark each. Let's take another example. Supposing your topic is complaining about the irregular supply of electricity in your area. Then the 2 issues could be darkness for hours, no fans in summer, extremely hot. And the second issue, the problem that you face, the inconvenience that you have, could be that it is examination time, students are unable to study at night, and that results in their poor performance in examinations. Half a mark for each of these issues. 2 issues, 1 mark, half a mark each. After we have finished presenting our 2 complaints or making our 2 complaints, we need to give 2 solutions, for which we will pick up half a mark each. In the topic, menace of hawkers outside your school and what dangers they pose, your solutions could be, or your suggestions could be, the hawkers must be warned about the importance of hygiene and the sale of clean food. Here you will notice that your first complaint was related to hygiene. That is, they sell unhygienic food. So your suggestion is in accordance to that. The second one follows the same pattern, and the second suggestion could be shift the hawkers into the field behind our school. This would ensure that they are not deprived of their livelihood. In the next example topic, complaining about the irregular supply of electricity in your area. If you remember, the first complaint you made was of long power cuts. So here you could have the first suggestion as ensure regular, uninterrupted electric supply at all times, especially during exams, or you may say during the summer. And second suggestion could be take measures to prevent power theft in the area, especially in a number of factories. We did the format, then we did the body or the content, and now the last part of the formal letter is the expression, for which you pick up 5 marks. Always use a formal tone while writing a formal letter. Since a formal letter is usually written for official reasons, avoid using informal language. This means that you should use words such as please and kindly, but avoid using words such as cool and awesome. Nothing in such letters should be personal or intimate. Furthermore, be precise and to the point. Be sincere, polite, and courteous in your tone. Your sentences should be well structured and precise. Make sure to keep your letter short and to the point. Diction is something you would like to consider. What is diction? Diction refers to the choice of words or phrases when you speak or write. Always use formal diction in a formal letter. We usually use informal diction when we speak to our friends or family. But when writing a formal letter, make sure to avoid the use of contractions such as isn't and won't and other slangs. The language you use should be grammatically correct and precise. You might want to keep these expressions in mind. If TV is informal, television is formal, photo and photograph, cell and cell phone, net and the internet, right is correct, wrong is incorrect, start is commence. When you want to say sorry, use apologize. When you want to say set up, use establish. When you want to say it's about, you may say it concerns or it is in regards to. Plus and also could be rectified and corrected in a formal letter with and substituted by moreover, furthermore, and but. Can be however. Most such expressions are therefore and thus, for so, in my opinion, for I think, finally, for in the end, in conclusion, for to sum up, and I look forward to hearing from you soon instead of hope to hear from you soon. You may also want to use the following expressions. I would like to apologize. Please accept my apologies or sincere apologies. I would be grateful if you could. I would appreciate it if you could. I look forward to seeing you, or I look forward to hearing from you soon, or I look forward to meeting you soon. Now that we have discussed the various aspects of the formal letter, such as the marking scheme, the format, the content, the expressions, let's take a look at this topic. Let's take a look at this sample and see how we can go about it. The topic is, write a letter to the chairman of your local municipal corporation complaining about the dumping of refuse on a street near your house. Mention what inconvenience it is causing you and suggest ways of dealing with the problem. Let's understand the topic. Let's see what I am being asked to write. If I were the writer, what am I being asked to do? Write a letter to the chairman of your local municipal corporation complaining about the dumping of refuse. So I am being asked to complain about the dumping of refuse on a street near your house. So I have to imagine this. However, in many places we don't really have to imagine this because this keeps happening so often. But in case it doesn't happen in my locality, I've got to imagine this. I have to imagine that people are dumping their refuse on a street very close to my house. And I need to complain to the chairman of the local municipal corporation about it. Furthermore, mention what inconvenience it is causing you. This is for the content. 2 points of inconvenience. Remember, we talked about issues or complaints. So we have to get 2 points of inconvenience which is being caused to me because of the dumping of refuse on a street near my house, and suggest ways of dealing with the problem. Here comes the presentation of my suggestions, solutions. So again, 2 points. How to deal with the problem. Now we saw the topic, we understood what we have to do, we know how to write the format of a formal letter. Now we need to begin writing the letter itself. And so to write the body or the content of the letter, we must first need to begin with the opening sentence. And so for a formal letter, we need 2 opening sentences, half a mark for each, and that mark will go into the marks for expressions. The opening sentences are considered pointers because they directly point towards the topic. It is a direct reference to the topic in the question. So our 2 opening sentences for this letter could be, it is imperative that I draw your attention to the dumping of refuse on the street adjacent to my house. It has been going on unchecked for almost a month, and it has now become a matter of bother. These are our 2 opening sentences. You can have a shorter one if you like. Then comes the body of the letter, the content of the letter. And remember, I mentioned 2 issues or 2 points of inconvenience according to the topic, according to the question of the letter, for which you are given half a mark each. So what could be our 2 issues regarding the dumping of refuse near to my house? The refuse is putrefying. A foul smell is emanating. Another one could be, dogs and pigs are scattering this refuse, the garbage. We can have an additional point. I am suggesting this for you. Fear that if the refuse is not cleared soon, it might become the cause of a major epidemic. So these are our 2 issues, 2 complaints, or the inconvenience caused to us. In the same body of content, we need to give 2 solutions or 2 suggestions. Again, as I told you, you'll pick up half a mark for each. And the 2 suggestions for the topic given to us Could be the garbage pile should be removed at the earliest. Some disinfectant should be sprayed. Put up a notice restricting dumping of refuse on the road, you may add, or a fine will be imposed. So you have several solutions. You can choose 2 of them, for which you will pick up half a mark each. After we finish with our 2 complaints and 2 solutions in the body, we need 2 closing sentences to end the body, the content of the letter, before we sign off. And for these 2 closing sentences, just as for the opening sentences, you will pick up half a mark each. These are also considered pointers. They also point towards the topic, to the body of the letter. They talk about the body or what you have mentioned before. And so they could be, I hope you will take the necessary steps as outlined in my letter to you to deal with the problem of dumping of refuse near my house. Please ensure that this disposal of refuse by people so carelessly does not recur in future. And with these 2 closing sentences, you can close the letter and then go and end off the letter with the subscription. With that, we come to the end of this lesson on how to write a formal letter. I hope I have been successful in getting across to you all that is required to write a good formal letter. My only advice is that you must be simple in your approach and maintain clarity of thoughts. You will, with a little practice, be able to write very impressive formal letters. Thank you.